few months back, I created this video which was all about the fact that Rachel Gupta from India had resigned as Miss Grand International, and it had all to do about the treatment that she received during her reign as Miss Grand International, especially pertaining to Miss Grand International's owner Nawat. Now this year, some people at Miss Universe have been smoking socks because they have made an agreement with Nawat that he should be the one organizing and hosting the entirety of the Miss Universe 2025 pageant. Now, of course, it used to be that Nawat had absolutely nothing to do with Miss Universe. He wasn't involved with Miss Universe at all. In fact, he had sort of a one-sided feud with Miss Universe. He wasn't the biggest Miss Universe fan at all, and he has been publicly throwing shade at Miss Universe for years prior to him infiltrating the Miss Universe circle as of this year. Not only is Nawat the official organizer of Miss Universe 2025, but he is also the national director of Miss Universe Thailand, as well as, of course, the owner of his very own international pageant, Miss Grand International, which historically, technically, has been a sort of rival of Miss Universe. And so you may ask, why would the Miss Universe organization agree to have a working relationship with someone who has been publicly shading the Miss Universe brand for years? Well, I believe it all comes down to JKN and their financial struggles. Miss Universe is currently in its JKN era. Before that, it was in its IMG era, and before that, it was in the Trump era, etc., etc. The eras are basically based on which company owns the Miss Universe brand right now, and right now it's JKN, and the face of JKN during the Miss Universe era is, of course, Anne. Now, Anne has been known to have a lot of financial trouble, okay? The woman is going broke as we speak, allegedly, and she has even given up her title as CEO of Miss Universe. Although JKN still does own Miss Universe right now, she's just not the CEO anymore. Anyway, my point is, Miss Universe probably didn't have the money that they needed this year, and so they likely made this deal with Nawat to carry the entire financial burden of actually hosting a Miss Universe 2025 pageant. Essentially, not only letting the wolf into the chicken coop, but letting the wolf decide how the chicken coop is run. The reason why I think that this whole Nawat thing comes down to JKN and Anne specifically is because the other partner of Miss Universe, who is the Mexican business owner Raúl Rocha, doesn't seem too keen on Nawat as a person and as a business owner. Raúl threw shade at Nawat by posting Nawat's company, MGI's, latest stock market figures, showing that it has gone down significantly. Why Raúl would choose to do that, I don't know, but it is shady AF, and low-key I love it because Nawat deserves the shade. But whatever the case may be, the final result is that Nawat is in charge of this year's Miss Universe competition, like it or not, and he is a flamboyant figure. He seems to really relish in attention and scandal, so he doesn't seem to necessarily care whether or not the attention focused on him is positive or negative attention. He just wants the eyes to be on him, and hence his company. So I think it basically comes down to money, and the things that he has been doing recently with Miss Universe is concerning, to say the least, as somebody who really loves and respects the Miss Universe brand. The first thing that Nawat did when Miss Universe started this year, which was a little bit concerning, was that first of all, he posted this competition where fans needed to vote online for the top 10 contestants who will be having a dinner with Nawat. He didn't post this on the official Miss Universe social medias, but he did post this on the Miss Universe Thailand social media, which is a bit controversial in and of itself because the people who are following the Miss Universe Thailand social media will obviously be voting for the Thai candidate this year to receive this reward, if you can call dinner with this man a reward. Personally, I would take it as a threat. So I think that him not posting this competition on the official Miss Universe social media for all Miss Universe fans to see is indicative of the fact that this is not something that was agreed upon with the Miss Universe organization to begin with. And allegedly it was said that this dinner would be a scored segment of the competition, meaning that it might have some bearing on who wins Miss Universe at the end of the day. But the Miss Universe organization itself later had to put out a statement saying that this competition had absolutely nothing to do with the Miss Universe organization and they did not agree to this at all. So that was the first thing that Nawat did, which was a bit sketchy, creating a competition where fans should vote for the top 10 candidates to have dinner with him, which seems more like a punishment than a reward, which is likely why it was implied that this would be part of the final score, also, you know, to incentivize people to actually want to partake in this nonsense. Anyway, Nawat probably wasn't very happy with the fact that Miss Universe went against him publicly and said that they wanted nothing to do with this voting situation, and so he called the police about a banner of a sponsor of Miss Universe 2025.
You know, it's illegal. They bring this and call the lady, take a photo and take a clip to promote. ไปไหนอ่ะไปไหนกันหมด
So there is this online gambling site who is sponsoring or being a partner of Miss Universe 2025, and their banner was standing on one of the Miss Universe locations. Now what? Instead of just being a normal person and going to the Miss Universe organization and telling them his side of the story of what's going on, why he is against this gambling website banner standing there, he calls the police. Granted, gambling in all of its forms is illegal in Thailand. That is a fact. I do not contest that. But there was no gambling going on. It is a banner. It's not hurting anyone. It's just standing there. Calling the police for this sort of nonsense, I'm sure they could have been attending to something more serious is what I'm trying to say. Now, what could have just told the Miss Universe organization, I don't think that this is a good idea to have these people as our partners, as our sponsors, because gambling is illegal in Thailand. And don't tell me that he just found out that day upon seeing that banner that that was one of the official partners of Miss Universe 2025. He is organizing the event. He probably had a list of who all of the official partners were going to be weeks ago, if not months ago. He could have said something there. I think the fact that it is online gambling and is not, you know, physically in Thailand, perhaps the website is not even available in Thailand, makes it sort of a legal gray zone. And to that, my question is, why did he have to call the police? Couldn't he just have called the Miss Universe organization themselves and asked to speak with their legal team in order to establish whether this was legally okay or not? Why did he have to jump to calling the police? This is what I mean. The dramatics of this man is endless. And of course, a situation which you all likely already know about is the Miss Universe Mexico situation. Keep in mind, Nawat already has this rather fraught relationship, it seems from the outside, with Raúl Rocha, who is Mexican and who is also one of the leaders in the Miss Universe camp. And they already don't seem to mesh very well. But then Nawat had to go and speak very disrespectfully to the Mexican candidate at Miss Universe this year.
How many countries not working with me when you are? Can you remember the country? When he asked you to promote video clip, this morning, but you say no. Show up your hand, please. Show up your hand. I have your list. Show up your hand. What country name? No, not about you. Not about you. Not about you.
It's not about me. It's about all the people that I represent.
I didn't give you opportunity to talk. Please keep polite for me. I still talking. Listen. I still keep talking to everybody. Why you stand up to talk to me?
Because I have a voice and it's not correct, but it's not. If you have a problem,
No, you have a voice, but you have to respect. The voice.
you are not respecting me as a woman.
What? No, why you stand up?
Because I have
Where's the gun? Security. No, just leave it here. She stand and she talk by herself.
stand up. As a woman, we have respect. We need to have respect for us. I'm here representing a country, and it's not my fault that you have problems with my organization.
No.
Listen.
Listen. You must listen to me, and then when I ask you,
This is a show. This is the wrong place.
Stop. Security. ปิดประตู Stop. Sit down. If anyone want continue the contest, sit down. If you step out, the rest of the girl continue.
Not only this, but a lot of the contestants at Miss Universe this year found the way that he was speaking to Miss Universe Mexico quite disrespectful, and they stood up and walked out. And he of course made things worse by calling security and threatening that any contestant who walks out of the room at that moment is out. Like, that's what I heard. That is what I heard him saying. And my point is this. This is Miss Universe. This is not Miss Grand International, which is his brand, his baby. And yes, it is not correct to talk to contestants like this under any circumstances. But I think especially if you're trying to be a professional, when you're representing somebody else's brand, you don't do this. Which leads me to believe that perhaps it might be the case that somewhere subconsciously our man Nawat is trying to sabotage Miss Universe 2025. Or perhaps he's just a narcissistic fool who can't control his own actions and his mouth. Now, many people were questioning, including myself, because I genuinely didn't know, why was he targeting Miss Universe Mexico? Because it can't all be about the fact that he has an issue with, the Mexican side of Miss Universe. He had to have had something specifically that he was targeting her about that we didn't get to see in this video that was released that we just saw. And from what I've read, it basically comes down to the fact that he has been asking plenty of girls to film videos and sort of post videos about sponsors and certain things that weren't being asked of them from the actual Miss Universe organization. Of course, when you're competing at Miss Universe, there are certain sponsors who you are expected to promote, and a lot of the times some girls would be pulled aside for special photo shoots, special video shoots, in order for the sponsors to get their money's worth in exposure. But Nawat was pulling girls to the side, begging them to post videos and things, advertisements basically, for things that they weren't being asked to do by the Miss Universe organization. And so they didn't really know what to do, and so some girls elected not to follow his orders, which didn't come directly from the Miss Universe organization. And so he was calling out Miss Universe Mexico for basically being one of these candidates who didn't post the things that he wanted her to post. And it escalated to the point where he spoke to her in this disrespectful tone, angering all of the other contestants, and them walking out. Even the reigning Miss Universe, Victoria Tailwig, getting her shit and getting the F out of Dodge.
We have respect for everyone, but this is not how things can be handled.
to trash another girl is beyond disrespectful, and it's nothing I as a person can stand in. That's why I'm taking my call. And
Oh my God! Oh, what happened?
so
And honestly, this is exactly what he deserves. This man has been having beef with contestants at his own international pageant, Miss Grand International, year after year after year, and it's culminating in his reigning Miss Grand International resigning earlier this year, Rachel Gupta. And honestly, he knew that there were cameras around him, and he still chose to speak to Miss Universe Mexico in this way. What is this man doing when there are no cameras around? How bad can he get with contestants when there are no cameras around? No wonder there are always girls year after year who compete at Miss Grand International having all sorts of complaints about this man, and then subsequently him having online beef with them and just being very unprofessional and disrespectful in general. He later came with a lot of crocodile tears, saying that he has put blood, sweat and money into Miss Universe 2025, and he was just trying so hard to get girls to post things so that he can just make some of that money back. Sir, nobody said you should organize Miss Universe 2025. This was your choice. This wasn't these women's choice for you to be pumping your money into this event. It wasn't their choice, and it isn't their responsibility to make your money back for you. Miss Grand International is what it is, okay? We accept it for what it is. We know what Miss Grand is, and the women competing in Miss Grand know what it is, and they know that they will be expected to sell things on TikTok Live, etc. afterwards. Women competing at Miss Grand don't deserve to be spoken to in the way that he spoke to Miss Universe Mexico, nor do they deserve to be treated the way that Rachel Gupta was allegedly treated, but they are expected to post certain things and to partake in certain activities in order to benefit MGI financially, which is fine. That's their prerogative. That's Nawat's baby, and he can make the financial choices there. But he is now trying to come to Miss Universe, change everything up, force contestants to post things that they did not contractually agree to with Miss Universe, and then he's blaming them for him making the stupid decision to financially back Miss Universe 2025 in the first place. Sir, these women aren't there to make money for you. And I'm so glad that these women at Miss Universe stood up, walked out anyway. They looked this man straight in the face and they were like, we don't get spoken to like this. All pageant contestants, the women competing at MGI are no different, are highly respected members of their community. These are highly intelligent women, and they don't deserve to be spoken down to like this. Who are you to be raising your voice at this woman as if you are her father, reprimanding her for not making you money? But yes, I'm not even joking. His whole excuse was that he pumped so much money into Miss Universe 2025, and he was just trying to get the contestants to post things so that he could make some money back for sake. And the Miss Universe organization did release a statement saying that Nawat's participation from here on forward will be limited, and that they are sending representatives from Miss Universe out to Thailand earlier than anticipated, even in order to keep an eye on things, because as I understand it, Nawat was actually the only person there, and there was nobody from the actual Miss Universe organization or high up enough in order to steer things a bit in the right direction up until right now. And I just hope that from here on forward there is going to be no more drama, although I highly doubt it. If not, between now and the 21st of November, when Miss Universe 2025 is actually going to happen, I think after crowning, definitely Nawat is going to come out throwing major shade at the Miss Universe organization. Honestly, how could he just not keep cool for like 3 weeks? Why does the Nawat always have to come out? Every year we have such drama with this man, and honestly I just think that Miss Grand International would be much better off if he didn't have a phone. And if he had someone to hit him in the rib every single time he was interacting with contestants. Because let's be for real, I don't really have an issue with Miss Grand International and the fact that they have their title holders and things do live selling. It's a bit cringe, but it makes them money and gives them the ability to put on a good show at the end of the day. And as long as the women are being treated well and with respect, I don't care how they're making their money. I won't be buying anything, but to each their own. What ruins Miss Grand International year after year a little bit for me is not the women competing, because they are incredible, amazing, intelligent women. I do not like the fact that they are encouraged to act like buffoons on stage, although that has dampened down a little bit. I like the fact that they're encouraged to be a little bit more fluent, a little bit creative with their poses and walks and things. That I can still stand, but you know, doing weird things into the microphone when introducing themselves, I don't love. Miss Grand International's production, always amazing, and that's the hill I will die on when it comes to Miss Grand. The thing that really kills Miss Grand is Nawat. And in the beginning of Miss Grand, his antics really brought a lot of attention to the brand, but I feel like right now Miss Grand as a brand, as a pageant, can hold its own without Nawat. His antics have grown from something that used to bring a lot of attention, whether or not it be positive or negative, to Miss Grand in order to build the brand, to something that is turning people off. And this year at Miss Universe already, we are exhausted with his antics and this back and forth between him and the actual Miss Universe organization, and it's taking away from the very deserving candidates we have at Miss Universe this year. Overall, I would say that this year at Miss Universe we have the most anticipated pool of candidates since 2018. These women competing at Miss Universe this year have such strong viewer audience pool power to them. Miss Universe does not need all of this drama in order to create hype. The women competing there, Olivia Yasay, Veena Pravina, Atisa Manalu, Melissa Nyamuli, all of these women representing their respective countries have such strong support and fan bases that have been dying to see them at Miss Universe for years and years, and it would just be amazing if Nawat could pull it together for long enough to actually let the women competing have the spotlight. Anyway, thank you for listening to my rant. I do highly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe and tell me what you think about all of this mess in the comments, because I'd love to know. Also, let me know if I left something out, but what would really be a treat is if you can remember all of the shady things that Nawat has ever done, and let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and for bearing with as I rant, and I will see you in the next one, which will possibly be more positive depending on what Nawat decides to do within the next few days.